welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today is Friday. I can't believe how fast the week went. Anyway, I have no reviews for you today, but I do have, I'm going to do my Knockdown, my TBR, and I'm going to read the first paragraph of the page and to see if I'm going to like the book or not. I actually only DNF'd donated one book so far from all your comments. Then I have all these other ones sitting in front of me. I have no idea if I should keep them or not. This genre was really hard because it is kind of my favorite genre. So yeah, so I have a big pile behind me that I'm keeping. But the ones that I wasn't sure about, those are the ones I'm going to read the first paragraph and see if I like it or not and see. Okay, but first I'm going to share the 3 books that I am currently reading, okay? Let's start with my physical book. My physical book is The Good Sister by Sally Hepworth. She is one of my favorite authors. I've read almost all of her books except for The Mother's Promise. So I really enjoyed her writing style. She's an Australian author. This one is about twins and yeah, twin girls. And then I'm really liking it so far. What I read, I didn't get very far because I only read about a half hour to an hour a day. So yeah, so I am only on page 61, but I did enjoy exactly what I read so far. So I'm going to continue reading this for next week. So that's that. The second book that I am reading is on my laptop. I have it on my Kindle and I am reading The Stand. Yes, it's a very long book. I wound up, let me grab it. I have this physical copy and the font is way too small, so I wound up buying the Kindle version so I can enlarge it so I can see it. So I'm reading very slowly. I am not on track with the group. There's a group read, a Discord, but I'm trying to read as much as I can, and I am on page 166. So I did pass my 100 mark, which is good. So 166, I will continue reading. I will also comment in the good Discord group. So as I get through this large, humongous book. So yeah. Okay, so today I finished my audiobook last week and I started a new audiobook. I have Scribd. I did not cancel my subscription. So I was like on Scribd and I said, okay, what can I listen to while I'm sewing my projects? And I am listening to a nonfiction book called Mind Hacking. It is by Sir John McGrath. And yes, he starts off the book that he is an alcoholic and he's going through all these changes, drugs and alcohol and all that. But however, he is also a programmer, a computer programmer. Now, my husband is a computer programmer, so I am learning a lot about those things that happened way back in the 1970s when they invented the internet and all that. So I'm really enjoying that part. And we haven't got up to the mind hacking yet. So hopefully it will be something positive because I am doing all this positive and I think the universe told me to read this. So yeah, so I picked it up and that's what I'm physically listening to. So in the month of May, I am going to be doing a class. It was $10 that I paid for a class. And I bought the book, and this is the book that I bought off of Amazon. I got Heart Work Journaling, Play with a Purpose by Maritza Para. And the class that I am taking is called Doodle Your Emotions, I think. It's a 7-class class in the month of May. I will put the links below if you want to join. I have a art journal that I plan to bring out and I already started writing in it and I plan to doodle my emotions in there. So yeah, so I bought this book, lots of color and doodles in here. lots of artwork and just things that we're going to be doing. I actually did this already in my journal. Yeah, so I bought this book and I can't wait to start. It's going to be May 12th to the 17th, I believe. And I'm hoping that it will help me in the month of May. So yeah, I'll put the links below if you want to join the class. Okay, so I'm going to try my hardest to go as quickly as I can, as fast as I can through these books. I'm going to open it to the first page of each book and read just the first paragraph to see if it grabs me or not. And then I'm going to either keep it or donate it. So yeah, I only have one book on my donation right now. So this is going to help me donate some, I'm hoping, donate some. But this is like my favorite genre, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to donate anything unless it's alcohol or drug starts, and yeah, so we'll see. Or cheating. I don't like that either, cheating. So let's start with this book here. It's called The Dog's Journey. Now, I probably will love this book because it is about a dog, and I think that the dog talks, but I'm not sure. So let's start reading from page 1. Okay, so page 1. As I sit in the sun on the wooden dock that jutted out into the pond, I knew this to be true. My name was Buddy, and I was a good dog. Already, I think I'm going to keep it. The dog is talking. It sounds really fun. And yeah, so I'm going to keep this one. Okay, so the next one. This one is called Man Alive. This may be a mystery, but I have it in my contemporaries. So let's see what this one's about. I have a hardcover, so it's hard to give out hardcovers. Okay, Inside the Flash is chapter 1. And the chapter is a little bit big, so let's see if I could even get through chapter 1. Everyone deserves a vacation from himself. Owen thinks on the last day of his. He's convinced that spending 3 weeks at their beach house each summer makes him a better doctor and a better parent, if not a snappier dresser. Early every morning, face flushed with a good night's sleep, the sun lifts itself out of the ocean and travels across the summer sky, hanging out even as it warms the sand. Through such measured leisure, Owen catches up on his medical journals as well as his sleep, but he lets himself go to a year's worth of bacon and booze packed into 3 weeks at the Delaware shore. Now, yeah. Now, this is going to be hard because, first of all, Owen sounds like he's drinking. It says booze here. Am I going to like it? I don't know. It's his last day. Is it, I'm going to look down a little bit more to see if I should keep it or not. And there is the word twins in here. So I think I'm going to keep it only because it sounds like he has twins. And I'm going to try to read more. So I'm going to keep it. I have a hardcover. Let's try to read more of this one. Even though I know I'm not going to like the drinking part, but it's so hard. Okay, let's go into this one. One Good Dog. So let's see. Really quickly read. I'm not going to skip the prologue. Oh, chapter 1, the first paragraph. It's extremely long. Let's try to just read a little bit of it. Okay. Sophie, Adam, March doesn't look up from the rectangle of paper in his hand. His tone is, as always, even and no louder than it should be to reach across his executive-size office through the open mahogany door and to the ears of his latest personal assistant. On the pink rectangle of a "while you were out" memo slip in Sophia's preferred lilac-colored ink and written in her loopy handwriting are 3 simple words that make no sense to Adam March. Your sister called. Not possible. Time and date of call yesterday afternoon while he was enduring what he hoped was the last of the meeting he was going to have to hold before today's main event. A meeting in which he'd given a combination prep talk and take no prisoners mandate to his hand-picked team. Okay, so it's extremely long. It's going to drive me nuts. I'm going to donate it. Yeah, she just describes way too much. I'm sorry, I'm going to donate it, even though I love the cover. So I'm going to get rid of it. If I wanted to read it, I could take it out from the library. So that's going to my donation. Let's try this one. Here and Now. So now the font is probably extremely small. So let's see if I can. I'm going to skip the prologue. I'm going to go right to chapter 1. Okay. It's really short. So let's see. This can't be happening, she whispered in numbered shock. Stuff like this just didn't happen in life. This was like the craziness of a tabloid television. So yeah, that's chapter 1. The first paragraph. I think I'm going to keep it because it did sound a little fun and adventurous and I want to read more. So I'm going to keep it. Okay. One Day. So let's see what this one's about. Now this I have a library old copy and it starts off with a poem. I'm not going to read the poem. It takes place in 1988 and 1992. Yeah, 1988. I'm not going to read anymore. 1988 is the year I graduated, so I am going to keep it only because of that. So let's keep it and read more. Okay, let's move on to Jane Green. Now, the Jane Green I haven't read yet, so I want to read her. And I have family pictures, which I'm going to attempt to read the first paragraph. This takes place in 2009. And it looks like it may be different POVs. Yeah, it's different POVs. They're short chapters. That's a plus. I think I'm going to keep it. I'm not even going to read it. So short chapters, very plus. Jane Green, I haven't read yet. She seems to be very popular, so I'm going to keep it. Okay, The Husband's Sweethearts. I believe this is about cheating just by the title. So let's see if I could even read it. I have a hard copy. Chapter 1, there are 34 chapters. Chapter 1. Okay. Don't try to define love unless you need a lesson in fertility. Okay. So that sounds pretty interesting. I think I'm going to keep it. It looks like it's about fertility. So I actually had problems with fertility. So I want to read more. And yeah, I'm going to keep it. Okay, let's go on to this one. Heart of the Matter. I have not read this author. I believe she has lots of books. But I have this copy. So let's see. Chapter 1. It starts with a person's name, Tessa. So it's probably different POVs. So let's read the first paragraph. Whenever I hear of someone else's tragedy, I do not dwell on the accident or diagnosis, or even the initial shock, waves, or aftermath of grief. Instead, I find myself reconstructing those final, ordinary moments, moments that make up our lives, moments that were blissfully taken for granted and that likely would have been forgotten altogether, but for what followed, the before snapshots. So love that it's talking about snapshots, taking pictures. I'm going to keep this one and try to read more. So that's that. Okay, so let's go on to 10 days. Now, I believe this is about a little kid. Maybe he goes missing, or maybe child abuse. I don't know. So let's try to read the first chapter. I told you this is going to be hard to get rid of some books here. Okay, so the first chapter is named Anna, and it's very, very short. So let's see if I could even read the first paragraph. The car rounded the turn, and she spotted the bridge. From that distance, it was tiny. A faraway cobweb stretched over the foggy straits between St. Ignaz on her side and Mackinac City on the other. Her fingers gripped the steering wheel. Who's going to drive over? You don't want to, her husband asked. No, think of it as a highway. So, yeah, I think it's raining outside, so sorry if you hear any pounding. But I think I'm going to keep it and try to read a little bit more. Yeah, I'm going to read a little bit more and see if I like it or not. So that's that. Okay, on to the next one. The Far End of Happy. So, yeah. So let's see what this one's about. I love the cover. It says, the three women, the 12-hour countdown has begun. So let's see what chapter 1. Chapter 1, I have a bookmark in there. And it is a Divergent bookmark. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it says Divergent on the back. I may have started to read this, but it's actually on page 1, so I doubt I started to read it. It says it starts off at 7 a.m. in the morning, and the person who's talking is Ronnie. And so let's see what this is about. The pages felt thick with life as they flipped through her fingers. A long-suffering friend, this journal, taking everything she'd thrown at it. The questions, the tortured answers, the pros, the cons, moments rich with beauty, the long, slow death of a dream. It seems very flowy. I'm really liking it. It also talks about a journal. So, yeah, I'm going to keep it and try to read more one day whenever I have time. Yeah, this is not going to be good. I'm not getting rid of anything, it looks like. Okay, so let's go into the Vacationers. So let's see what this one's about. Okay, so the chapter is called One Day, and actually it says day 1. Sorry, duh. Day 1. Okay, leaving always came as a surprise. No matter how long the dates had been looming on the calendar, Jim had packed his suitcase the night before, but now, moments before the scheduled departure, he was wavering. Had he packed enough books? He walked back and forth in front of the bookcase in his office, pulling novels out by their spines and then sliding them back into place. Had he packed his running shoes? Had he packed his shaving cream? Elsewhere in the house, Jim could hear his wife and their daughter in a similar last-minute throes of panic, running up and down the stairs with one last item that had been forgotten in a heap by the door. This sounds really interesting. I am definitely going to keep it. Yeah, he wants to pack books. That sounds pretty neat. Yeah, this would be something I want to read really soon, maybe in June. Yeah, this sounds really good. So I'm going to keep it. Okay, let's move on to the next one. It's called The Other Half. And this is by Rachel Rayner. Let's see. It's the mistress, the wife. Each has her own story. Is this about cheating? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's just read the first page and see. There were 3 men opposite her, all hard at it. One had been going for ages and had worked up a real sweat. Every stroke was accompanied by a noisy oof. The other 2 seemed more blasé. Chloe struck up her own rhythm, feeling self-conscious. Okay, this seems very sexual and I think I'm going to get rid of it. Yeah, I don't know. 3 men? Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm putting that in my donate. At least I have 3 books in the donate pile now. Okay, The Life She Wants. So let's try this one. I'm gonna skip the prologue. I'm going right to chapter 1. It's the little things that will break you, and Merche had been thinking about that a lot lately. She stood strong while everything was taken from her, while she was virtually imprisoned at a little motel near the Jersey Shore, while her husband was buried, while the media spun a sordid tale of deceit and thievery that implied she'd been aware. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. This takes place in New Jersey. I live in New Jersey, so I'm going to keep it and try to read more. So, yeah, I'm going to keep this one. Okay, next one. The Jane Austen Book Club. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. I hope I'm reading fast enough. I don't know. Okay, so let's try this one. I have not read, did I read Jane Eyre? I did not read Jane Eyre. I did read, I don't think I read Jane Eyre. So let's see. I did read something else. All right, so let's go to page 1. The prologue is very long. Starts in March. We are going to chapter 1, and it says, in which we gather at Jocelyn's to discuss Emma. Now, I think I'm going to donate this one because I have not read Emma. I have not read the Jane Austen. So I'm going to donate this one. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so let's go to the next one. And the next one is called 5 Women. So I have a mass paperback, and I'm going to jump to chapter 1. It takes place in New York. New York is a city always in flux, where people are constantly remaking their lives. It is like the filming system in a computer, folded within folder, neatly hidden away but accessible. You can navigate skillfully from the place to place, from old friend to new friend, or hide and see no one. Sometimes people wonder what has happened to you more than often than just think you're busy. Often you are. Sometimes they think you don't like them anymore. Sometimes you don't. As you remake your life, you also remake yourself. So it sounds really interesting. It takes place in New York. I am originally from New York. So yeah, I'm going to keep this one, and one day I will read some more of this one. So that's pretty interesting. Let's go on to Always by Sarah Geo. I think I said her name right. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I butcher anybody's name or anybody's favorite book. Yeah, I'm just going by the first paragraph. I'm going to like it or not like it. So yeah. So let's go to the first page and see. Always, chapter 1, it takes place in 2008. Oh no, why do I always do that? I say to my fiance, Ryan, as we walk into the restaurant. Do what, baby? Leave my purse in the car. We've just valet parked, and as we look out the window, Ryan's white BMW is being driven off. I'll go get it, my forgetful one, he says, kissing my cheek. You grab our table. I'll be back in a second. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this one. Sounds pretty interesting. She's forgetful. I love that because I am very forgetful, and we'll try to read more. So that's that. Okay, here's another Jane Green. I'm going to keep it because I liked her other book, and I'm going to keep it. Okay, so here's one. I'm not even going to try to read it. It is a movie. I think I'm just going to watch the movie, and I'm going to donate this one. Yeah. Am I wrong about donating it? I don't know. I'm not going to attempt to read it. There's a movie. Yeah, I'm just going to watch the movie. I'm going to put that in my donation pile. Let's try this one. It's called Butterfly. Now, I believe it says Every Woman's Ultimate Fantasy. This might be a sexy book. Yeah. I don't know if, let's try to read the first page. The very front, it says, "Oh my God." Trudy cried out in a wild mixture of joy and pain. And when it was over and she lay on the rich carpet in the wonderful stranger's arms, she marveled at the evening she had just spent. She could hardly believe that it had happened, that it had all been real. When a question came into her mind, she wanted to ask, but she didn't want to break the spell, so she asked only herself, who was behind this magical operation in the rooms above Finelli's men's shop? Who thought of it? Who had started it? Who ran it? Who, in fact, was? Now, is this about prostitution? I don't know. I want to read more just because I'm curious. And I don't want to get rid of it because it was pretty easy to read. And yeah, I'm going to keep it. So that's that one. Okay, so let's go on to this one. The Inn at Rose Harbor. I believe this is book 1 of the series, I think. And yeah, appealing first new series. So let's see if I have not read this author before. Let's go to chapter 1. Okay. Last night I dreamed of Paul. He's never far from my thoughts. Not a day passes when he isn't with me. But he hasn't been in my dreams until now. It's ironic, I suppose, that he should leave me, because before I close my eyes, I fantasize about what it would feel like to have his arms wrapped around me. As I drift off to sleep, I pretend that my head is resting on his shoulder. Unfortunately, I will never have the chance to be with my husband again, at least not in this lifetime. This sounds very sad. I think I'm going to keep it. It was easy to read. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. So that's that. Okay, so we are on to Bet Me. I have not read this author before. Let's try to read the first chapter. I have 3 more books to go. And I think that I am going to just do the 5 or 6 books that I am donating, because yeah, you already saw all the books in the last one. So let's see if I could get rid of something here. I don't know. It's really hard here. Okay, chapter 1. Once upon a time, Minerva, very hard to say the person's name, thought as she stood in the middle of the loud yuppie bar. The world was full of good men. She looked into the handsome face of the man she'd planned on taking to her sister's wedding and thought, those days are gone. This relationship is not working for me, David said. I should shove this twizzle stick through his heart, Min thought. You wouldn't do it, of course. The stick was plastic and not nearly pointed enough on the end. Also, people didn't do things like that in Ohio. A sawed-off shotgun, that was the ticket. So, okay, so first of all, she's in a bar. It's about drinking. I'm not going to like it. I am putting it in my DNF bio. I know I should read a little bit more, but that's it. I'm trying my hardest to get rid of something, and this is the hardest thing, I swear. Okay, the backup plan. So let's try this one. Oh, this is so hard. Okay. Here we go. Her producer was tiptoeing around bad news. Dina could see it in his eyes, hear it in his voice. After a decade of working in TV journalism with basically the same news team, she learned to recognize the signs. Do I read more? I think I'm just going to donate it. I'm gonna donate it. Okay, I'm getting better at this now. Okay, the Summer Girls. Here we go. I have this one and the next one, and then I am done. And then I will show you which ones I'm donating. Okay, this one takes place in Los Angeles. Carson was sorting through the usual boring bills and circulars in the mail when his fingers passed at the thick accrue envelope with Miss Carson's written in a familiar blue script. She clutched the envelope tight and her heart pumped fast as she scurried up the hot cement steps back to her apartment. The air conditioning was broken, so only scarce puffs of breeze that carried noise and dirt from the traffic wafted through the open windows. It was a tiny apartment and two-story stucco building near LA, but it was close to the ocean and the rent was affordable. So Carson had stayed for 3 years, longer than she'd ever lived in any other apartment. Okay, it's a super long paragraph. Yeah, it looks like lots of paragraph, I'm gonna DNF this one. Donate this one. I'm gonna donate this one. I know I'm probably gonna, that's probably one of someone's favorite books. Yeah, I'm donating. Okay, so this one I think I'm gonna keep just because of the cover, and it's called Roommates. Love the little puppy on the front cover, so I'm not gonna read it. I'm just gonna keep it. Yeah, so that's it. Okay, so I didn't do very good on this one. 50 books, and I only donated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the 50. So yeah, very hard to do. Of course, I know that once I start reading some of them, I will probably DNF some of them, but very hard. So these are the 8 books I'm donating. I'm not going to do the list of what I'm keeping because you could watch that video on Monday that has all the videos, all the books. Okay, so I'm donating the Summer Girls. I am donating the Backup Plan. I'm donating Bet Me. I'm donating the White Olander. I am donating the Jane Austen Book Club. I am donating the Other Half. I am donating One Good Dog. And I am donating Family Tree because I have 2 copies of it. Yeah, very hard to eliminate some of those books. Stay tuned for Monday. I will be doing another take down my TBR. I think that I am going to do an author one because I left off with letter H and I still have a lot of letter H. They're all mixed genres, so stay tuned to see that on Monday. Hopefully I could get rid of some books. I also have a lot going on in May, so I'm going to do some videos of what I'm currently doing and what I finished in the month of April. I did a lot of sewing. I want to share that with you as well, so stay tuned. Hopefully I will be better to video and you'll see me. I've been very emotional lately, very blue. Yeah, so hopefully I'll feel better next week, and I'll video I have some ideas that I want to do. I need to be in the mood to videotape, and hopefully you'll see me in other videos this week. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.